Good morning. How are you this lovely day? We're in ancient Rome. This is episode 18 of 20. We're fastly closing in on the completion of this series. Today we're going to be looking at the Arch of Titus. And I'm getting a little feedback. Hold up just a second. Getting a little bit of feedback. There we go. So I fixed it. Hope you're doing well today. It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles. We're starting to break out into springtime. This has been an unusually rainy winter. Normally we get a little rain, but this time we got a lot of rain. And so ready to get all dried out, get ready to start going to the beach and museums and gardens and sporting events and things like that. So today we're going to be looking at the Arch of Titus. So let me pull up that first image. Hope this is it. Yes, it is. All right. So this is the Arch of Titus. And it's a first century AD honorific arch. It's located on the Via Sacra road in Rome, in the Roman Forum. It's in the southeast part of the Roman Forum. I'll show a map in a little bit. And it was constructed in AD 81 by Emperor Domitian, shortly after the death of his older brother Titus. So here's another side view. One moment. Let me pull it up. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Let's see. My apologies. Let me see. Day. Okay. Done. All right. Pull that over. Big, isn't it? Yeah, so this is a kind of a side image of it. So, yeah, it's pretty big. Like I said, it's in the southeastern part of the Roman Forum. And so we'll start with that. And I'll do a little before we do the reading, we'll go ahead and do the video. So I'll catch you on the other side.
Arch of Titus is a 1st century AD honorific arch, located on the Via Sacra in Rome, just to the southeast of the Roman Forum. It was constructed in 82 AD by the Emperor Domitian, shortly after the death of his older brother Titus, to commemorate Titus's victories, including the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD. The arch is large with both fluted and unfluted columns, the latter being the result of 19th century restoration. The spandrels on the upper left and right of the arch contain personifications of victory as a winged woman. Between the spandrels is the keystone, on which stands a female on the east side and a male on the west side. The soffit of the axial archway is deeply coffered with a relief of the apotheosis of Titus at the center. The sculptural program also includes 2 panel reliefs lining the passageway within the arch. Both commemorate.
Alrighty. So as I mentioned, the Arch of Titus in Italian is Arco di Tito. Is a 1st century AD honorific arch located on the Via Sacra road in Rome. It's just to the southeast of the Roman Forum. It was constructed in AD 81 by Emperor Domitian. at the upon the death of his older brother Titus, to commemorate Titus's official deification or consecratio and the victory of Titus together with their father Vespasian over the Jewish rebellion in Judea. The art contains panels depicting the triumphal procession celebrated in AD 71 after the Roman victory, culminating in the fall of Jerusalem, and provides one of the few contemporary depictions of artifacts from Herod's temple. Although the panels are not explicitly stated as illustrating this event, they do closely parallel the narrative of the Roman procession described a decade prior in Josephus, the Jewish War. It became a symbol of Jewish diaspora, and the menorah depicted on the arch served as the model for the menorah used as an emblem of the state of Israel. The arch has provided the general model for many triumphal arches erected since the 16th century. It is the inspiration for the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. It holds an important place in the art history, being the focus of Franz Wyckoff's appreciation of Roman art, in contrast to the then prevailing rule. I'll read a little bit on the history. It's pretty long, so I won't go too far into it. So, based on the style of sculptural details, Emperor Domitian's favored architect was Rabirius, sometimes credited with the Colosseum. He may have executed the art without contemporary documentation. However, attributions of Roman buildings on the basis of style are considered a bit shaky. The brother and successor of Titus built the arch despite being described as hateful towards Titus by Cassius Dio. The medieval Latin travel guide Mirabilia Urbis Romae noted the monument writing, the Arch of the Seven Lamps of Titus and Vespasian, where Moses' candlestick is having 7 branches with the Ark of the Covenant, at the foot of the Cartulary Tower. During the Middle Ages, the Frangipani family added a second story to the vault, converting it into a fortified tower, and the beam holes from the construction remained in the panels. Pope Paul IV, papacy, in 1555 to 1559, he made it a place of yearly oath of submission. All right, that's enough on the history. Let's do a little on the description. The arch is very large with both fluted and unfluted columns, the latter being the result of 19th century restoration. The size of the arch of Titus measures 15.4 meters in height, or 50 feet, 13.5 meters in width, or 44 feet, 4.75 meters in depth, or 15.5 feet. The inner archway is 8.3 meters in height, or 27 feet, and 5.36 meters, or 17.5 feet in width. So it's a very large arch. And the spounders on the upper left and right contain personifications of the victory as winged women. Between the spandrels is the keystone, on which there stands a female on the east side and a male on the west side. The soffit of the axial archway is deeply coppered with a relief of Apotheosis of Titus at the center. Now I got a picture of that, so let me turn this off. Right there. in the center. Uh, that's the relief, and it's a deep relief of Apiotheus of Titus at the center in the arch area. In the south, the inner panel on the left side there, I believe, is another relief. Right there. All right. It depicts the spoils taken from the temple in Jerusalem, the menorah and stuff, so the candlestick. The golden candelabrum or menorah is the main focus and is carved in deep relief. Other sacred objects being carried in the triumph procession are the gold trumpets, the fire pans for removing the ashes from the altar, and the table of showbread. These spoils were likely originally colored in gold with the background in blue. In 2012, the Arch of Titus digital restoration project discovered remains of yellow ochre paint on the menorah relief. The north inner panel, and I have a picture of it. One moment. In the north panel right there, it depicts the Titus, Emperor Titus, as the triumphator or triumphator, meaning he was triumphant over Jerusalem. It was attended by various genii and lictors who carried the fasces. A helmeted Amazonian, a velour leads the quadriga, or four-horse chariot, which carries Emperor Titus. Winged victory crowns him with laurel wreath. The juxtaposition is significant in that it is one of the first examples of divinities and humans being present in one scene together. This contrasts with the panel of Areopagus or Pacis, where humans and divinities are separated. The sculpture of the outer faces, sculpture of that, okay, I think on the left side of there. Oh, flitter, I lost my place. Okay, the sculpture of the outer faces of the two great piers was lost when the Arch of Titus was incorporated in medieval defense walls. The attic of the arch was originally crowned by more statuary, perhaps a gilded chariot. The main inscription used to be ornamented by letters made perhaps silver and gold or other metal. Yeah. The original inscription attached on this is the writing at the top. Let me go back to the original. Right there at the very top. It says Senatus Populicus Romus Divito Tito Divia Vespania Philippia Vespanio Augusto, which means the Senate and the Roman people dedicate this to the deified Titus Vespasian Augustus, son of the deified Vespasian. All right. That's good on the description. Now a little bit more about the emperor himself. I had told you earlier that from a comment that I wasn't talking about the emperors who it's dedicated for. But before I do that, let me show you the map. Okay, on the right bottom there, that's the Colosseum. And you can tell on the Via Sacra Road, which is on that left side right there, it's at the end right down on the southeast side of the Roman Forum. And then Via Sacra crosses over there to the right a little bit. So, yeah. So it's right where that blue thing is. Marker. Okay. Now let's pull Emperor Domitian. Okay. This bust or statuary is currently in the National Archaeological Museum in Naples, Italy. He was a Roman emperor. His reign was September 14 in AD 81 to September 18 in AD 96. His predecessor, his father, Titus, is that right? No, let's see. He's the son of Vespasian, the younger brother, Titus. I was wrong. So he's the brother of Titus. So his successor was Nerva. Okay, he was born. You don't have that, so let me pull that right there. He was born 24 October AD 51 in Rome, Italy, Roman Empire, and he died September 18th, AD 96. So he was aged 44, pretty young, but I think they only live between 20 and 50 years old for the most part, lifespan. So he's kind of in middle age there, I guess. His burial is in Rome. His spouse was Domitia Longina. They married in AD 70. His issue or children were Flavius Caesar, Flavia, Vespasian Minor, possibly an adoption, and another Domitian Minor, possibly adopted. His other names are Titus, or his birth name was Titus Flavius Domitianus, Domitianus, yeah, and also Caesar Domitianus, 69 to 81 AD. And his, political name is Imperator Caesar Domitianus Augustus. Emperor Domitian. His dynasty is part of the Flavian dynasty. His father was Vespasian. His mother was Domitia. And Vespasian, in the Flavian dynasty, Vespasian, I think, was between 69 and 79 AD. Titus's reign was 79 to 81, and then Domitian's was 81 to 96 AD. Okay. All right, I'll read a little bit more about Domitian. There he is. So Domitian was a Roman emperor from 81 to 96 AD. He was the son of Vespasian and the younger brother of Titus. His two predecessors on the throne, he was the last member of the Flavian dynasty, described as a ruthless but efficient autocrat. His authoritarian style of ruling put him at sharp odds with the Senate, whose powers he drastically curtailed. Coffee from Starbucks. It's good. I also had some banana bread earlier, which I highly recommend. Domitian had a minor and a largely ceremonial role during the reigns of his father and brother. After the death of his brother, Domitian was declared emperor by the Praetorian Guard. His 15-year reign was the longest since that of Tiberius. As emperor, Domitian strengthened the economy by revaluing the Roman coinage, expanded the border defenses of the empire, and initiated a massive building program to restore the damaged city of Rome. Significant wars were fought in Britain, where his general Agricola attempted to conquer Caledonia or Scotland, and in Dacia, where Domitian was unable to procure a decisive victory against the king of Decebalus. Domitian's government had exhibited strong authoritarian characteristics. Religious, military, and cultural propaganda fostered a cult of personality, and by nominating himself perpetual censor, he sought to control public and private morals. As a consequence, Domitian was popular with the people and the army, but considered a tyrant by members of the Roman Senate. Domitian's reign came to an end in 96 AD when he was assassinated by court officials. He was succeeded by the same day by his advisor Nerva. After his death, Domitian's memory was condemned to oblivion by the Senate, while senatorial and equestrian authors such as Tacitus and Pliny the Younger and Suetonius propagated the view of Domitian as a cruel and paranoid tyrant. Modern revisionists instead have characterized Domitian as a ruthless but very efficient autocrat whose cultural and economic and political programs provided the foundation of the peaceful 2nd century, actually. A little bit more on time. Background and family. Domitian was born in Rome on 24 October 51 AD, the youngest son of Titus Flavius Vespasian, commonly known as Vespasian, and Flavia Domilita Major. He had an older sister, Domilita the Younger, and brother, also named Titus Flavius Vespasian. Decades of civil war during the 1st century BC had contributed greatly to the demise of the old aristocracy of Rome, which new Italian nobility graduated, replaced in prominence during the early part of the 1st century. One such family was the Flavians or Flavians. They rose from relative obscurity to prominence in just 4 generations, having acquired wealth and status under the emperors of Julio-Claudian dynasty. Okay, that's enough of that. I think I'll call it there. So what we'll do is review the video again as reinforcement, and I'll catch you back on the other side. Hope you enjoyed this podcast.
The Arch of Titus is a 1st century AD honorific arch, located on the Via Sacra in Rome, just to the southeast of the Roman Forum. It was constructed in 82 AD by the Emperor Domitian, shortly after the death of his older brother Titus, to commemorate Titus's victories, including the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD. The arch is large with both fluted and unfluted columns, the latter being the result of 19th century restoration. The spandrels on the upper left and right of the arch contain personifications of victory as a winged woman. Between the spandrels is the keystone, on which stands a female on the east side and a male on the west side. The soffit of the axial archway is deeply coffered with a relief of the apotheosis of Titus at the center. The sculptural program also includes 2 panel reliefs lining the passageway within the arch. Both commemorate.
All right. Well, Let me take this off and just put that back on. So today we looked at the Arch of Titus and the Emperor Domitian. So wherever you are on this lovely Saturday morning in Los Angeles, having looked out the window, the temperature is probably going to be in the low 60s, mid 60s, somewhere in there, and absolutely gorgeous. And it looks like we're going to have a spate of very nice days for about the next 5 or 6 days, sunshine. So I'm definitely ready for it. So wherever you are on this planet Earth, I hope you have a great Saturday morning and afternoon. And we'll catch you on the Table Talk podcast at 10 o'clock. Not sure at this moment what the topic is. It hasn't really availed itself to me yet. So, but we'll catch you on the Table Talk. We'll talk about something. Y'all take care. Have a great Saturday. See you later, my friends.
What you do, you want to me, but I can't let it go so easily until I see what it could be a